Hello students, how are you? I am Purnima and once again I welcome you to my class of English. Now student, today I am going to teach a new topic. As you can see the heading on the board, non-finite verb. So children, I am going to teach you non-finite verb. And before children telling you about non-finite verb, I think I should tell you about finite verb. So if you will understand finite verb, then children it will be easier for you to understand non-finite verb, right? Now children, first of all, before understanding finite verb, you have to understand three things. Three things. First is subject, the other is object, and the subject, object and verb. Children, verb, I think I have told you many times. I have told you about verb, like verb is a doing verb. That means whatever work, whatever action, and children, whatever we do, that is a verb. Like I am teaching, teaching is a verb. You are studying, studying is a verb. She is listening, listening is a verb. Okay, the cat is dead. So here the state of a cat is described. Okay, though it is not doing any work or any action, but then it is in some particular state. Okay, Radha is sleeping on a cot. So children, sleeping is a state. Though Radha is not doing any work, Radha is not doing any action, but children, it shows the sleeping shows a action. I mean, it shows a state. So children, verb is a that verb we show that a work is happening or an action is happening or the state of a person. Now children, so and children, let me tell you about subject and object. Though I have been telling you about this subject and object in our previous classes, also in my previous video, but once again I am going to revise. Okay, and children, the whole thing, this finite verb and non-finite verb has a relationship with subject and object. So if you will not understand subject and object, you won't be able to understand finite verb and then non-finite verb, which is in your syllabus. So children, first I am going to tell you about subject and I am going to tell you about object. Children, here what is the subject? Ravi. My sentence is Ravi kicks a ball. Okay. So here kicks is a verb. As you can see, kicks is a verb. Now children, what are other things you can see? Like A is an article, and children, Ravi is a noun and ball is also a noun. Okay. So children, what is the subject? As I keep on telling you in all the grammar lesson, because this is whatever you be is there in your syllabus today. I think mostly all the content, all the things is related with subject and object. So this is very important. And students, let me tell you this thing that in finite verb, and non-finite verb, subject and object plays a very important role. Okay, so you can see children in this sentence, Ravi kicks a ball. Ravi kicks a ball. So children, here kicks is a verb and children, noun or pronoun. Please mind this thing. Please be attentive. Noun or pronoun. It is not verb or adverb. Only noun or pronoun which comes before the verb. This is a verb, okay? And Ravi is coming before the verb. So noun and pronoun which comes before the verb, that is known as subject. And noun and pronoun which comes after the verb. You can see children here ball. Ball is coming after the verb kicks. Okay, so there are two nouns here. One is Ravi and the other is ball. So noun and pronoun which comes before the verb, that is a subject. And noun and pronoun which comes after the verb, yeah, that is ball, it is known as object in a sentence. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. And now we will come to finite verb. Now children, what is a verb? Children, finite verb is that verb which change according to number and person. Just now children, in my last video I taught you about noun, number. That means in noun children, noun is divided into two number. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it is singular number and it is plural number. So noun is divided into two number. Okay. Singular and plural. These are the two numbers in language, in English language, and children, it is divided into singular and plural. So, and children, one more thing I think you should, before starting your finite verb, I think I should also tell you about this children, person. So I have been telling you about persons also. Person means first person, second person, third person. And I think I have given you the notes on my previous video. First person, in first person there are two numbers are there, singular number and plural number. In singular number, in first person, I is will be there, or in plural number you will be having we. In the second person children, you will be having you, and second person plural will be having we or you. In third person singular number children, we are having he, she, it, or any name. Okay. So third person singular is very important. All the major changes in grammar, in English grammar takes place in third person singular. And children, in third person plural, it is children, then they or them. Okay. So children, you don't have to forget two things when you will study finite verb and when you will study non-finite verb. So what are the two things which you should remember? That is subject. The other is object. I have already told you what is a subject. I have already told you what is an object. And children, I have also discussed just now about the person. First person, second person, third person. Now children, what is this? Person means it will come in the category of pronoun. Okay. Person here doesn't mean any person, any human being, any person, any man or woman. It is not that person. Here person means children, person is a this thing, pronoun. Okay. So the basics of all this, before understanding finite verb and non-finite verb, I have cleared all the basic and I hope you have understood. In my previous videos I have done that, because without that you won't be able to understand finite verb and non-finite verb. Now children, I will be telling you now what is a finite verb. Now children, that a finite verb is that verb, okay, which is limited by the person and number of the subject, which is limited by the, that means which is written according to number and person of the subject. How? I will tell you. Okay. And children, one more thing I should like to tell you here. Like I also have told you about number, singular number and plural number. Like if boy is singular, then boys will be plural. This is singular and this is plural. Okay. Men, men. Girls, girls. Okay. And children, this is a subject. But what about children? Verb. Okay, you should also know children about verb. Children, when verb is singular, it is just opposite. Singular verb and plural verb. Okay. Children, singular verb here it carries S, and plural verb it is without S. If a verb is play, then in the singular form S will be added to play. Okay. And children, in subject, in noun or pronoun, it is just opposites. Like just now I have told you boys will be plural and boy will be singular. But children, in the case of verb, it is completely opposite things. Like children, singular verb carries S with it. Plural verb is without S. Okay, so children, I was telling you what is a finite verb. Now children, finite verb is that verb which acts according to the person and number of the subject. How? Let me explain you children how. So what is a finite verb? Finite verb is a verb which act according to the subject, according to the number of the subject, according to the person of the subject. Children, number means here singular number or plural number, and person here mean first person, second person or third person. Okay. Like children, Rohan plays. Rohan is third person singular. Rohan is third person singular. So with singular children subject, the verb will also be singular. Okay. And I told you just now that we always put s or es with singular verb. Right. So here singular subject. So children, you can see the verb is changing according to the subject, according to the number of the subject, according to the person of the subject. Children, why s is here? Because it is third person singular. It is a rule. When third person singular is there and when any verb is there, so s or es will be there with the verbs. That's why here children s is written with play. Okay. So the verb here, this verb is finite because it is changes according to the subject and number and person of a subject. Now I play. Children, you can see here I have not written s with play here because children here the subject, though it is singular subject is there, but we never put s with the verb. With I we never put s with the verb. You play, I play, they play, he plays, she plays. So children, I mean to say children, if a verb, okay, what is a finite verb? Finite verb is that verb which changes according to the number and person of the subject. Some other example of finite verb I am giving you. He has a car. Now children, has is a finite verb. They have a car. You can see children, this is pronoun. This is also pronoun. So, and this is verb. This is verb. This is object. This is object. Okay, so noun or pronoun which comes before a verb is subject, and children you can see which subject is that. This is third person singular. This which subject is that. This is third person singular. So with third person singular, what will come here? Has. The similar, then the second sentence you can see children, this is third person plural, and if plural is there, so children what we are having it here? Have. So you can see children, here the verb is changing with the person he, okay, with the subject. What is the subject here? He. What is the subject here? They. So children, you can see in the first sentence the verb is has, in the second sentence the verb is have. So children, when a verb changes according to the subject, okay, and children, what you have to see when you have to see the subject, you have to see whether it is a singular number or you have to see whether it is a plural number. Then also you have to see which person is this. Like this is third person singular and this is also third person, but it is plural. So with third person singular we always have has, and with plural we have. Right. So children, now I hope you have understood what is a finite verb. He, there is a with he the verb is has, and children with they the verb is have. So you can, student, you know that here the verb is changing according to the subject. Okay, With you also we write have. Okay, I have, he has, Rita has, she has, the dog has 2 ears, 4 legs. Why dog has? Because dog is also third person singular. Okay, dog is a subject, but it is third person singular. So with third person singular, what do? We keep, children, we write has. Okay, so I think that before starting with our syllabus non-finite verb, I feel that we should also know about subject, we should also know about object. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand this topic which is there in your syllabus. And children, the most important thing, you should know about finite verb. So I think now you all have understood about finite verb. What is a finite verb? When finite verb is that verb which changes according to the subject and person. The verb which change according to the subject's person or number. Okay, that verb is known as finite verb. Okay, that means, children, once again I repeat, try to understand a verb which changes according to the subject. And children, how it is changes according to the subject? It changes according to the number and according to the person of a subject. Then that is a finite verb. This you have to see. Okay, that is a finite verb. So I hope, children, now you have understood what is a subject, you have understood what is a object, what is a verb. Okay, and then, children, what is a finite verb. Okay, so this much you have understood. Now, student, I would like to tell you about non-finite verb. Now I am going to start your topic, non-finite verb. And children, I would like to tell you how many types of non-finite verbs are there. And first of all, what is a non-finite verb? Okay, first of all, I will be telling you about what is a non-finite verb and how many types of non-finite verb is there. Okay, so children, this is the things which I would like to tell to you now. Okay, so first of all, children, you should know before starting that finite verb which I have told you. Okay, now I am going to tell you about non-finite verb. So children, non-finite verb is just opposite of finite verb, that it doesn't change according to the subject. What is a non-finite verb? Non-finite verb, children, doesn't change according to the subject. In finite verb, it is just opposite. Finite verb change according to the subject, but non-finite verb never change according to the subject. Okay, how this I will be discussing very soon with you people. Okay. Okay, student. So just now I have told you about finite verb, and now I am going to tell you about non-finite verb. Okay. So first of all, quickly, what is a finite verb? Finite verb is that verb which changes according to the number and according to the person of a subject. And children, now vice versa. What is a non-finite verb now? Non-finite verb is that verb which don't change according to its subject. It remains unchanged. Okay, there is no effect of subject on non-finite verb. Like, children, finite verb, what happened? Finite verb used to change according to the subject. And children, what things according to the subject it used to change? It used to change according to the number and according to the person of a subject. But students, you can see here in non-finite verb, children, there are 3 types of non-finite verb is there, and in all the three types, children, you will see that the verb never change according to its subject. So I hope, children, now you know what is a non-finite verb. Non-finite verb is that verb where the verbs are not changed according to the subject and number. and person. Okay, so children, try to remember. First of all, you should know what is the difference between finite verb and non-finite verb. So I hope this is clear to you, isn't it? And if it will not be clear to you, then you can ask me, we can discuss later on our online classes, right? So children, I was talking about non-finite verb. Okay, and children, non-finite verb is not limited by person and number of the subject. Not limited means, children, it is not, it doesn't have any effect of person and number of the subject, right? Then children, I told you, in fact I will be telling you that there are 3 types of non-finite verbs are there. So first is infinitive, second is gerund, third is participle. So these are the 3 types of non-finite verbs. First is infinitive, second is gerund, and third is participle. Okay, so children, I will be teaching you the first one, infinitive. Okay, so children, I will be telling you what is a infinitive verb, right? There are 3 I's infinitives. Okay, first I, second I, and don't get confused with the spelling. Okay, so there are 3 I's. I-N-F-I, first I, N-I, and then T-I. So don't write your spelling wrong. Many people write I-N-F-E-N-I-T-Y. Okay, so this is wrong spelling. Now children, first of all, what is an infinitive? Before starting explaining that how infinitive is a non-finite verb, you should know what is a infinitive. So infinitive is a base form of a verb. Children, you should know what is a base form. Now verb forms, I think you must have studied when you were in class 3 of your teachers must have told you. Okay, like go, went, gone. This is V1, first form of the verb, V2, second form of the verb, V3, third form of the verb. Now children, first form of the verb is known as base form. So it is the first form of the verb, student, which is known as base form. Okay, so now don't forget what is the base form. Base form is the first form of the verb. So what is the infinitive, student? Infinitive is a base form of verb. What is the base form of a verb? Base form is the first form of the verb. Like do, V1, did, V2, done. This is also important. Okay, do, did, done. So first form is V1, second form is V2, did, and third form is V3, done. So children, what is the base form here? The first form. Do is a base form of the verb. Okay, and what is, children, infinitive? Infinitive again is a base form of the verb. And children, is structure. Now children, how to frame infinitive in a sentence? How to write infinitive in a sentence? So children, we always write infinitive in a sentence by adding to. Like 2 plus V1. This is the formula for infinitive. This you should remember. What is the formula for infinitive? 2 plus V1. Okay. So children, I hope you understood what is a infinitive. What is infinitive, student? Infinitive is a base form of verb, and children, its structure is 2 plus V1. That means that base form of the verb will always come by adding to with it. Okay, and since it is non-finite verb, okay, so it doesn't have any effect of subjects and its person and number. Only finite verb is having the effect of subject, its number and its person. Okay, so just children, just see this thing. Okay, infinitive verb, this is the base form of the verb, and children, to is added with this base form. Just remember this thing. Okay, so what is an infinitive, children? Once again I explain you. Infinitive is a base form of verb, and children, what is its sentence structure? Is sentence structure that it always comes with to. That V1 is always comes with to. Okay, and children, it is not limited by the number and the person of the subject. Now children, it function as a noun. In the sentence, children, if non-finite verb is there, so how does it act? It acts as a noun. This I have to tell you. So children, it acts as a noun. Where children? It acts as a noun. Okay, when it is used in a sentences, like now children, I would like to tell you that infinitive work as a noun in a sentence. Okay, though infinitive is a verb, it is non-finite verb, but children, it acts as a noun. It acts as a noun, that means it do the work of a noun, like to walk, okay, to talk. So these are some of the words which are acting in the sentence. They act like a noun. They don't act like a verb here. Okay. And children, I told you children, now here your subject and object, I think it is getting connected here. So first of all children, what is the subject? Once again I am revising with you. What is the subject? When children, noun, when or pronoun, listen to me carefully. When noun or pronoun, when it comes before the verb, then it is a what? It is known as subject. And children, when noun or pronoun, when it comes after the verb, then it is an object of the verb. Okay, so here children, the first uses of infinitive is that children, it is used as the subject of a verb. Subject means it is used as in the form of a noun. What is the subject of a verb? I told you that subject of a verb is a noun or pronoun which comes before the verb. So here children, infinitive, its first uses is that it is used as the subject of the verb. Okay, it is used as a subject of a verb. Example. Now I will be giving you the example also. That means to write is a good habit. This is infinitive. Okay, to write is a good habit. Now children, this to write is acting as a subject of a verb. And what is the subject of a verb? When noun or pronoun, when it comes before a verb. Now what is a verb here children? Verb is here. This is verb. This is subject. Okay. This is article. This is adjective. Okay. And habit again is a noun. So children, here in this case children, what is infinitive? The here to is used with V1, base form the verb. So this is infinitive here, and it is used here as a subject of the verb. Children, now it is also used as the object of the verb. It is also used as the object of the verb. So first it is used as the subject of a verb, non-finite. Now it is also used as the object of a verb. What is the object of a verb? When noun or pronoun comes after the verb, it is also known as the object of the verb. Like, I want to accompany you. This is subject. This is verb. To accompany is a verb, but it is written here with to, so it is a non-finite verb and it is acting as a object of the verb. Okay, so I first uses of non-infinitive is that it is used with subject of a verb, and children, it is also used as the object of the verb. Children, it is also used as the complement of a verb. Okay, what is a complement of a verb? Like, the baby seems. If I'm taking one sentence. The baby seems. Now children, when I write the baby seems, we feel that it is not a complete sentence. Something should be here. Okay, something should be here, then the sentence will become complete. Otherwise, it is, if we are reading the baby seem, we can feel that it is a incomplete sentence. So you can write anything like the baby seems happy. So this happy is a verb. Okay, it is used with seems. Seem is a verb here. Happy is a complement of a verb. So children, so non-finite verb is used like a complement of a verb. Like, his pastime is to play violin. Okay, so to play is a complement of the verb. Okay, so children, with this I end the first part of the non-finite verb. Tomorrow I will be telling you about, in the next video of mine, children, will be telling you about the other non-finite verb like gerund and participle. With this I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.